Hello and welcome to Dads of Adventure podcast. Whether you are listening on your favorite podcast app or you are watching on YouTube, we thank you and please subscribe and rate and review us. That's how we get the information out and get this to more people. So we appreciate that. To find out more about us, go to dadsofadventure.com. That's where you can find opportunity to sign up for the newsletter, and you can also an email list. And one of the things that Dads of Adventure is all about is creating a community for positive dads to have adventures with their family and life, and with Disney, and speaking the language of Disney. So we have a membership site that we put together. Part of half of that membership site is, videos where I'm trying to give, kind of my experiences on, just how to be prepared for things that sometimes may be frustrating, sometimes may be confusing. So that way you can be prepared for those, and that can be a positive experience instead of, something that, starts the trip off, with challenges, where by the time you get to the gate, you're ready to go back home. Sometimes that can be the case. So what we're trying to do is prevent that, so that when you get in there, it's a great experience. And it doesn't just go to the parks, but we talk about a lot of different topics about having adventures with your family, and just taking moments in life and creating adventures out of those, whether that's Disney or otherwise. In general, speaking Disney is kind of a common language that we can use among dads to talk to each other and expand into other things about our lives and the adventures with our families. But it's not necessarily all about Disney. It's about being positive dads and positive leaders for your families overall. So that's that. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Dads of Adventure. So please join us there. Most active on Instagram, but things will feed to Facebook and Twitter, so you can find the information there as well. There may be specific things I post on Facebook as well. So if you are on all those platforms, join on all those platforms, and you'll get all the updates that way. But again, please join our email list at dadsofadventure.com as well. That way we can have that line of communication as well directly with you. And so today's episode is a continuation of kind of a series that we're starting on my childhood memories at Disney World. So I had 2 trips to Disney World as a kid, or one kind of as a teenager, but beside the point. But one was in 1991. One, I believe, was in the year 2000. So we're talking about the 1991 trip, and I talk about, and these will kind of be peppered throughout they may not all come out in order, but they'll be peppered kind of throughout things, depending on other topics that we decide to discuss on the podcasts and on the YouTube channel. But kind of quickly recapping, this started with me remembering some things from my original Disney trip, which I found out was in 1991, and then asking my dad to see if he had that footage, because I remembered seeing it. I knew that we had it. I knew that we had played it at my grandma's house during a family event. So I knew it was there. I didn't remember a whole lot from it. I remembered a couple things from Epcot, Magic Kingdom. Remembered a whole lot from Hollywood Studios. I think those were my biggest memories. But didn't remember everything. And one of the things that I like as kind of some of the nostalgic vintage attractions, that a lot of people wish were still there, or that they could have had the opportunity to experience those. while they were there. And what I realized from these videos as I started to watch them was I did get a chance to do some of those things. So this is talking a little bit about those and just that trip. So again, to set the stage, to give you 1991, when we came in from Orlando International, people could still come with you past the security gate as long as they went through the security checkpoint, and you could. When we came into the airport, I thought that my adventure had begun at the airport, but we'll describe that in the previous episode. If you haven't seen that, check that out. And in part one, and I think like jean shorts and what is now coming back. A lot of the things that I was wearing are now coming back. So jean shorts, I'm not sure if those are back, but maybe someday. And fanny packs, which we wore on our front, so we called them belly bags. And also, kind of bright, like pastel colored shirts, which I had a few of. Some were like Panama Jack, and some of them were a brand called Rude Dog, if anybody remembers that. But I had a few of those. So that kind of sets the stage of what we may have been wearing. And we had our rental car which was a Lincoln Town Car at the time. So we were excited about that. So this episode is heading into our first day of parks, which was at Epcot. So to give you an idea between my memories and what's actually in this video that I was watching, that my dad sent to me, the memories I had of Epcot, I remember entering Epcot. I remember it was a rainy day. I remember the camera and I saw some kind of added memories for this. I remember the first part of the trip. It was raining. I remember having some idea to put the camera inside of a plastic Ziploc bag, but to protect it from the rain. But what I didn't take into account was that the rain-soaked umbrella had already been in that bag. So I remember that. I remember doing that right at the start of our trip, but it didn't ruin it. It didn't mess up the camera. So luckily, we avoided catastrophe there. But I do remember that thought distinctly. And then I remember, which was enforced by the video, getting yellow, the classic yellow Mickey ponchos as we started the trip and started that rainy day. I also remember going on the Universe of Energy, which was not quite Ellen at the time, and the dinosaur part. I remember the dinosaur part, and I'll get to the other part that I remembered in a moment here. And then I also remember, trying to remember if it was Cranium Command. Yeah, Cranium Command. I remember being in that show. I don't remember a lot of it. I do remember, like, from the video of it, that, we were taking a video of it. Bucky was there, who, if anybody don't know, was the, animatronic that kind of led everything. If you look him up, he's pretty famous, and also has been mysteriously stolen from the past attraction, and is out there somewhere. Many people think so anyway, that's a little bit about Bucky. But what I remember from the video, or just my memory, was that you couldn't video that particular performance. So there was like a short time where they were announcing things, and I believe you get I remember a small shot of Bucky, but maybe that was me combining things that I saw versus what was in the video, and then like the video shut off. So we don't have a historical record of that performance, but I do remember that brief moment there. And I remember a little bit about kind of going in and seeing, getting in a good place for the fireworks. But that's, that kind of where my memory stopped and the video picks up. So I was really excited to see the video. And again, some of the attractions that we're talking about are like World of Motion. We're talking about the Communicore. We're talking about Horizons, and you had the just a number of which is not Communicore is now like Future World, or was Future World. Now it's gone, and we'll see what becomes of that area. But those are some of the things that are there. So as we're heading in, one of the first things we go on is the University of Energy. So that was cool. I remember getting in, the big flat ride vehicles, and I don't remember much of the show, but the show, was very, very 80s, 90s graphics and things like that, communicating information about different, energy topics. I think this will be a cool one because we had a lot of video of it. So I'll try to working on, how to best preserve these things, because, this is part of Disney history, and see if they can get them preserved, and see, possibly a good way to get them on YouTube. So more to come on that. Not quite there yet, but I remember going on that ride. I remember getting to the dinosaur part, and then so that was I'm pretty sure that was our first attraction that we went on, and that was also our first ride evacuation. So I remember the lights coming on, and we had to exit at the dinosaur part of University of Energy. So that was an interesting experience in itself, and that was confirmed by the video. But it was really neat to see the old show and kind of put those pieces together in my mind. We had read University of Energy, and the Ellen's University of Energy, a bit after that, as adults, and we actually kind of had some sense that it was going away, and kind of rode that, and great movie ride. Like, in one day we were like, we should probably ride these one more time in case they aren't here when we come back. And sure enough, both of them got shut down like in the next couple weeks after we left. So got those last rides in a couple years ago, and so that was University of Energy. And then the next attraction that we went to was World of Motion, which I had heard, people describing this, but I really didn't have the memory of World of Motion and going on it. But I'm glad we had the video, because, that was a cool way to see it. It's an attraction that kind of has a multi layers, very, kind of a similar, it's not the same as People Mover, but that style of like hard plastic type vehicle on a track. But this one went up in a spiral type motion, and you could see outside. So there's some great views of Epcot from that, and then you had the scenes that you went through, kind of like what you would see in Spaceship Earth today. Just showing the evolution of motion. So I remember seeing some of those. I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen little parts of these on different websites and different videos, across YouTube, but I didn't realize that I had the chance to experience that. So that was cool to see again. One of the kind of, I think, iconic pictures of the past of Epcot is the rainbow tube that you can go through, and I realized there's a distinct video of us going through that tube, and I was like, oh, I did get to go through that, so that was pretty neat. And then we went, and I have absolutely no recollection of this part of it, but we went to, and I don't even know what it was called at that time. I'll have to look that up at some point here, but Journey into Imagination. So it was with the DreamFinder. So kind of one of the first images that pops on the screen is like the DreamFinder, the guy that's the DreamFinder that you see people dressing up at the Halloween parties as today. He was right there, front and center in the image. And there's some cool images of just some, today it's, it's a continuous ride track, but and I don't know if this was like pre-show or if this was like throughout the show, but or if this was somewhere else in the I don't know, but there was some awesome like green screen effects of the DreamFinder actually talking to us as kids, and I don't know if I was selected as one of a few kids who got to do this. And everybody else was watching, but there were like 5 or 6 of us. I think there were 3 at first, but eventually there were like 5 or 6 of us that were doing this thing and listening to the DreamFinder and doing what he told us to do as we went on this journey. So it was really cool, really, really neat to see. Again, don't remember participating in that at all, but I did. So that was one of the neater, just visual things to see of, what that looked like, what, and, the fact that I got, picked to participate in it was, bonus, super bonus there. So, from there, it looked like we ate somewhere, or we were talking about eating, and, I can't remember the exact place. It looked like we were in the land pavilion, so I don't know if we were like planning what we were going to eat, and I don't know where we might have eaten, but it definitely was the land pavilion, because the next shot was us on Living with the Land, so an earlier version of that. And I feel like I'll have to double check the video, but I feel like there was like an actual guide on the boat versus there being like a speaker that went through everything. So we got to like, I believe like the prairie dog scene, and there isn't full footage of the whole Living with the Land experience, but I definitely, seeing that and thinking about it now, I don't know if it had the original soundtrack of, a tiny little seed reaching up to meet your needs type, folk song type theme, which I love. And shout out to the Florida Project for podcast for continuing playing that, because I really love that version of it. So we were there, and I think the next thing that was there was the fireworks. So it looked like we were in kind of future world. Like right now, the best description of the location is like it looked like we were dead center on across the across the water was the American Pavilion, and so we're watching the show. So I am not sure exactly what fireworks show that was. There was a lot of different music there. I know like the version of Illuminations that just finished, started in 2000. So that was, around the second trip that I went on in 2000. But I'm not sure what version of this show was. It seemed pretty long. And there's lots of music. There were lots of different types of fireworks. There seemed to be seemed like more fireworks than like what Illuminations had. But I'm not sure if they were as big as some of the Illuminations fireworks. So I don't really know exactly how to describe that. But if you think about kind of if you've ever done gotten a fast pass to go to Illuminations and see Illuminations, that's kind of the area where we would have viewed that from. And I don't remember a lot about World Showcase at the time. I feel like we probably did go and see that, but I don't remember specifics about that. And we definitely were not in World Showcase at the time of the fireworks. I also don't know if we went on Horizons, which I wish I knew whether we went on Horizons, because that I think is kind of the epitome of everybody's vintage ride history and something they want to go on. I can tell you from World of Motion, I could see the Horizons building, so there is a glimpse of Horizons there. And I don't think we had any. I don't remember any footage of Spaceship Earth. I feel like we probably would have gone on that, but I can't be for sure of that because there wasn't video footage of it, and I don't really have like a recollection of that from that time. So it's possible we didn't go on it because there was lots of things to do. The other piece that we did go to Communicore. So there's this really long segment of the video where we are, where my sister and I are kind of doing batting lessons. So there's like a T-ball batting lesson. So I won't make it more than it was, but there was a cast member there who was dressed like the 90s. So if you want to see someone dressed like the 90s, that is the image I think you want to look at. But it was like a little setup inside like a batting cage type area. More kind of like green screen effects. But they set you up. I remember it being very personalized, and I was trying to think: was there a lot of people in this line? Did we get special attention or not? But there was a definite attention thing there because my sisters, when she was doing it, they definitely said her name like 1,000 times during it, like name, do this, okay, this name, so to give you an idea. So there's definitely there was some training in that where they were making it very personalized for you. So she would, they set up the tee that she got to pick the bat. She would try to hit the ball, and then they had like a professional. They had instant replay, which was cool, back then because do you normally get to participate in instant replay? Especially back then. Now it's commonplace, but you got to see an instant replay of your shot, And you also got the chance to have a professional baseball player help you improve your form. So, like for my sister, it was like, okay, you need to spread your feet out a little bit, and then hit it from there. And then when I got up, it was I was just trying to like launch the ball into space, and hit it as hard as I could. I played t-ball at the time, when I was younger. I can't remember exactly how long from that it was, but I was like spinning my whole body to hit that ball. It was kind of funny. But then my tip was to plant my foot, and it was part of what the professional baseball player told me, and then also the cast member helped me with that, like told me what to do, and then I got to see an instant replay and redo it and everything. And again, it was a long experience, and I was wondering, like, are there people in line? And when the last part of the video was, there were some people in line, and they encouraged people to clap for the people that were inside. So it was super personalized experience there. I think that's one of the things that as some of those future world things go away, you may not see that as much. Like some of those little things that were just demonstrating different types of sciences and different types of things that are out there in the world, which was what those areas were meant to do. You may not see that quite as much. Today, I think when you get out of Spaceship Earth, there's lots of things you can do. My kids love doing those things, so we'll take some time to do those. I hope that's not something that goes away in Epcot, because I think that's a core to kind of what Epcot is yes, there's these big attractions. Yes, we are adding additional characters and things like that to some of the rides, which I'm not, when it's taking away from attraction that was there previously, I'm kind of on the fence somewhere, where I stand on that, because I like the old attraction, but they are creating some really awesome new attractions as well, and they are not just plugging things in. I feel like they're actually taking time to think about those things. And anyway, that's where things were, and I am trying to remember if there was anything else that we did, but I think that was kind of the gist of our Epcot experience, and again, capped off by the fireworks at night. So really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed seeing that. The next thing that came up on the video was our start to our Magic Kingdom Day and the boat. So stay tuned for another episode coming out at some point for that. So we'll continue this, and appreciate you listening. And again, check us out I'll try to probably be posting some pictures for that here and there, maybe a little bit of short video that's probably like me using my phone to take a video of the screen. Tiny, this is all being viewed, by the way, on a TV VCR combo that my wife had from college that has followed us around, because I knew I would need it at some point, and this was the thing, because it had the appropriate tracking and yes, we have two VCRs in our house, and the other one was not able to handle it, but this little TV VCR combo did, so that may be the view you have. Literally, the sound was bad, so I upped the sound by plugging it into the headphone jack of the TV VCR combo and getting some better sound that way. But other than that, those may be the videos you see. But join us again at Dads of Adventure on Instagram, especially, but also on Facebook and Twitter. And I'll probably be posting some of that information here in future posts, as well as all the other normal posts that we do. And that is about it for right now. So go have an adventure with your family, and we'll see you on the next episode.